You meet someone you want to impress, and suddenly you're performing. You casually mention the promotion, the expensive thing you bought, the person you know, the impressive thing you did. And while you're telling the story, you're watching them, waiting for that reaction. Wow, seriously? That's impressive. But sometimes the harder you try to create that reaction, the less impressive you become. And there's a reason for that. When you show someone something impressive about yourself, they're receiving more than one signal. The first is the one you intended. Maybe, I'm successful, I'm talented, I'm interesting, and there's nothing automatically wrong with that. Making a good impression is normal. Job interviews, dates, networking. Sometimes you should communicate what you're good at, but there's another signal people can potentially pick up. How badly you need them to notice. Because people aren't only evaluating what you're showing them, they're also evaluating how you're showing it. And once getting the right reaction becomes too important, your behavior can start changing. You mention achievements that weren't relevant. You steer the conversation back towards yourself. You check whether they noticed. You fish for compliments. Or maybe you try something more subtle. You humble brag. Instead of saying, I got promoted, you say, I'm already exhausted from everyone congratulating me on this promotion. Same achievement, different strategy. You're trying to get the credit without looking like you're trying to get the credit. And interestingly, research on humble bragging found that this strategy can actually make people like you less than straightforward bragging. One important reason was perceived insincerity. The disguise became part of the problem. And that's the paradox. The attempt to control the impression becomes part of the impression. You wanted them to notice the achievement, but now they may also notice how much you wanted them to notice it. That doesn't mean every confident person stays silent about their accomplishments. And it doesn't mean self-promotion always backfires. The problem isn't having something impressive. It's needing other people to be impressed by it. So here's a useful question to catch yourself. Would I still do or say this if I couldn't see their reaction? Not as a rule, as a diagnostic, because sometimes the answer will still be yes. Maybe the achievement is relevant. Maybe you're proud of it. Maybe they genuinely asked, then say it, but try stating it instead of selling it. There's a difference between, I built my own business, and spending the next 5 minutes trying to make sure they understand how successful that makes you. You can give people the information without trying to control the conclusion. And strangely, that's where this gets even easier to get wrong. Because you could hear all of this and decide, fine, I'll act like I don't care. Ignore people. Become deliberately cold. Never mention anything you've achieved. Try to look mysterious. But if you're pretending not to care because you want people to think you're confident, you're still doing the same thing. You're still managing the impression. You've just changed the costume. The real shift isn't, I don't care what anyone thinks. It's, I don't need to control every conclusion you reach about me. Let an achievement be an achievement. Let your personality speak for itself. Let other people decide what they think. Because sometimes the moment you stop trying so hard to prove your value is the moment you stop behaving like it needs to be proven.